Stop before you scroll away. Answer this honestly. How many times have you checked your trading account in the last hour? 5 times, 10, 20. Now here's the part that's going to mess with your head. That trade you exited early this morning because you got nervous. It stuff made you $3,000 by now if you just left it alone. Don't worry, I'll wait while you go check. Go ahead, I know you want to. Yeah, I thought so. I'm going to tell you something that sounds absolutely insane, but I can prove it with data from over 10,000 traders. The more you watch your trades, the more money you lose. Not sometimes, not occasionally, every single time. And I'm not talking about beginners. I'm talking about traders with years of experience. Traders who know technical analysis inside out. Traders who can spot a head and shoulders pattern in their sleep. None of that matters when you're sitting there, staring at those candlesticks like they owe you money. Let me paint you a picture. It's 2 a.m. You're in your underwear, the blue light from your screen is destroying your retinas. You've got 3 empty coffee cups next to your keyboard and you're watching a trade that's up 8%. Your finger is hovering over the close button. Your heart is racing. That little voice in your head is screaming, take the profit, take the profit. What if it crashes? So you close it. You feel relief for about 30 seconds. Then you watch in horror as that same trade rockets up another 40% over the next 2 days. You literally paid money to experience pain. Sound familiar? Of course it does. Because I just described 97% of retail traders, including the old me. But here's where it gets really interesting. 3 years ago, I accidentally discovered something that Wall Street doesn't want you to know. And I discovered it in the dumbest way possible. I got food poisoning from some sketchy street tacos. Spent 4 days completely bedridden. Too sick to even look at my phone without wanting to throw up. I had 3 trades running that I completely forgot about because I was too busy making friends with my toilet. When I finally recovered and checked my account, I nearly fell off my chair. Those 3 trades I'd abandoned. They made me more money than the previous 2 months of obsessive trading combined. $11,400, while I was unconscious and suffering. That's when it hit me. I wasn't making money despite not watching. I was making money because I wasn't watching. Now, before you think I'm about to tell you to just set and forget, like every other trading guru, hold on. This goes way deeper than that. We're about to dive into the dark psychology of why your brain is literally wired to sabotage your trades, and how the billion-dollar hedge funds exploit this weakness every single day. First, let's talk about what's really happening in your brain when you're watching that chart. There's a chemical called dopamine, and your brain is absolutely addicted to it. Every time that price moves in your favor, even by a tiny amount, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It feels good, really good. But here's the evil part. Your brain doesn't care about the big win at the end. It wants that dopamine hit right now. So when you're up 10%, your brain is screaming at you to close the trade and get that reward immediately. It's the same mechanism that makes people terrible at dieting. The cookie right now feels better than abs 3 months from now. And it gets worse. There's another chemical called cortisol, the stress hormone. Every time that price moves against you, even slightly, cortisol floods your system. Your heart rate increases. Your palms get sweaty. Your breathing gets shallow. You're literally experiencing the same biological response as if a tiger was chasing you. Except there's no tiger. It's just a number on a screen going up and down. But your prehistoric brain can't tell the difference between a trading loss and a mortal threat. So it does what it's designed to do. It makes you panic and run away, which in trading terms means closing your position for a loss, usually right before it reverses. I want you to understand something crucial here. When you're sitting there watching your trades, you're not being a good trader. You're being a slave to your neurochemistry. You're letting a 300,000-year-old operating system make 21st century financial decisions. And the worst part, the market makers know this. The algorithms know this. They're literally designed to trigger these exact responses in you. Those sudden spikes and drops you see, many of them are specifically engineered to shake out emotional traders. They're hunting your stop losses. They're triggering your fear response. They're farming your anxiety for profit. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. A study from the University of California analyzed over 5 million retail trades. They found something shocking. Trades that were checked more than twice per day had an average return of negative 4.3%. Trades that were checked once per day, negative 1.7%. Still losing, but better. But here's where it gets crazy. Trades that were only checked once per week, positive 7.2% average return, and trades that were essentially forgotten about and only checked monthly, positive 12.8%. The same traders, the same strategies, the same markets. The only difference was how often they looked, and that difference was worth thousands of dollars. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what if there's a huge crash? What if something goes wrong? What if I miss my exit? Great question. And that's exactly the fear that keeps you glued to your screen. But here's the reality. In 10 years of trading, do you know how many times constantly watching my trades saved me from disaster? Zero. Not once. You know how many times it caused me to exit winning trades early? Hundreds. Literally hundreds of times. I've calculated it. Those premature exits cost me over $73,000 in missed profits. Meanwhile, proper stop losses, which are set automatically and require zero monitoring, have saved me from catastrophic losses more times than I can count. The irony is perfect. The thing I thought I needed to watch for never happened. The thing I didn't think I needed to worry about was handled automatically. Let me introduce you to what I call the trader's paradox. The harder you try to control your trades, the less control you actually have. Because you're not controlling the trade, you're being controlled by your emotions. Real control comes from setting up a system that removes you from the equation entirely. Think about it like this. If you hired someone to manage your money, and they called you every 10 minutes with updates and asking if they should buy or sell, you'd fire them immediately. You'd say, I hired you to do your job, stop bothering me with every little decision. But when you're managing your own money, you're doing exactly that to yourself. You're being the annoying, neurotic money manager who can't be trusted to execute the plan without constant supervision. Here's what changed everything for me. After my food poisoning revelation, I started an experiment. I called it the invisible trade method. For 1 month, I would only check my trades at predetermined times, 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's it. No exceptions. No sneaking peeks. No, just one quick look. The first 3 days were absolute torture. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt phantom phone vibrations every 5 minutes. I caught myself unconsciously reaching for my phone 40 times a day. I had anxiety dreams about missed opportunities. It was like quitting smoking, but worse. But then something shifted. By day 5, I noticed I could think clearly about my trades. When I checked at 9 a.m., I wasn't emotional. I wasn't reacting. I was analyzing. I could see the bigger picture. I could stick to my strategy. The results. In that first month, my win rate went from 51% to 68%. My average profit per trade increased by 42%. And here's the kicker. I spent 93% less time actually trading. I went from 60 hours a week to 4 hours a week, and I made more money. It felt like I discovered a cheat code. But it's not a cheat code. It's just how trading is supposed to work. Now I need to address something important. Some of you are thinking, but I'm a day trader, I need to watch the charts. Okay, fair point. But here's the question. Are you really day trading, or are you just gambling with extra steps? Because actual profitable day trading requires you to have a specific setup, enter at a specific point, and exit at a specific point. All predetermined. If you're doing it right, you're executing a mechanical system. You're not monitoring anything. You're executing your plan and moving on to the next setup. The watching, the hovering, the constant checking, that's not day trading. That's anxiety trading. And anxiety trading has a 100% failure rate given enough time. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was in one of my coaching groups. Super smart guy, software engineer. Made 6 figures at his job, started trading crypto and lost $40,000 in 8 months. When he showed me his trading journal, I immediately saw the problem. He was making an average of 47 trades per day. 47. His average hold time was 12 minutes. He was paying thousands in fees. His win rate was 43%. He was basically funding the exchange's Christmas bonuses. I gave him one rule: no trade can be closed within 24 hours of opening it. Period. No exceptions. Even if it means taking a bigger loss. He fought me on this for 2 weeks. He said it was impossible. He said his strategy required quick exits. He said I didn't understand his system. Finally, he agreed to try it for just 1 week. That week, he made 8 trades instead of his usual 235. He made $3,100, more than he'd made in the previous 2 months combined. Why? Because that 24-hour rule forced him to actually think about his entries. It forced him to use proper position sizing. It forced him to set actual stop losses. It removed the ability to panic sell. It removed the dopamine addiction of constant trading. 6 months later, Marcus is consistently profitable. He trades maybe twice a week now. He's recovered his $40,000 loss and is up another $22,000. And he spends less than 3 hours a week on trading. The rest of his time, he's learning piano and actually sleeping through the night. Now here's the framework I use and the one I teach to every trader I work with. I call it the set, forget, collect system. And it's beautifully simple. Step 1, set your trade. This means you've done your analysis when the market is closed or when you're emotionally neutral. You've identified your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit levels. You've calculated your position size based on risk management, not on how confident you feel. Everything is predetermined. Step 2, forget about it. And I mean literally forget. Once that trade is live, it no longer exists to you until your predetermined check time. You've already made every decision. There's nothing else to do. The trade will either hit your take profit, hit your stop loss, or still be running when you check it. Watching it doesn't change any of these outcomes. Step 3, collect your data. At your predetermined check time, you review the trade objectively. Win or loss, you record it in your journal. You look for ways to improve your system. You don't look for ways to override your system in real time. That's it, 3 steps. No watching, no monitoring, no stress. And here's the beautiful thing, this system scales. Whether you're trading stocks, crypto, forex, commodities, it doesn't matter. The psychology is the same. The solution is the same. But I know what some of you are thinking. What about taking partial profits? What about trailing stops? Don't I need to actively manage those things? No, you really don't. In fact, I'll prove it to you with math. Let's say you have a trading strategy that wins 60% of the time. Your average win is $100. Your average loss is $50. Solid strategy, right? Now let's say you try to optimize by taking partial profits and moving stops manually. Studies show that retail traders, on average, take profits too early 57% of the time and move their stops closer, getting stopped out unnecessarily 34% of the time. When you run the math on this, your expected value per trade drops from $35 to $12. You've destroyed 70% of your edge by trying to be clever. Meanwhile, if you just let the original plan execute automatically, you keep that $35 expected value. Multiply that across 100 trades, and you've cost yourself $2,300 by actively managing your trades. Let me share something that's going to sound controversial, but I promise you it's true. The best traders I know are terrible at predicting short-term price movements. Like, really bad. If you ask them where price will be in the next hour, they'd have no idea. But they make millions because they understand something that took me years to learn. Trading isn't about predicting the future. It's about having a statistical edge and letting that edge play out over enough iterations. And you can't let something play out if you keep interfering with it. Think about a casino. Does the casino sweat every single hand of blackjack? No. They know that over thousands of hands, the house edge will win. They don't need to cheat. They don't need to manipulate individual hands. They just need to let the math work. You need to be the casino, not the gambler. And gamblers watch every hand with bated breath. The house just counts the money at the end of the night. Here's another mind-blowing stat for you. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, has said his ideal holding period is forever. He's not checking stock prices every day. He's probably not even checking them every month. He makes a decision based on analysis, then he lets it play out over years. Now, I know you're not Warren Buffett, and you're probably not holding trades for years. But the principle is the same. The time frame doesn't matter. What matters is that you make a plan based on logic and let it execute without emotional interference. Let me give you a practical challenge right now. Take out your phone, open your trading app, look at your current trades. Now answer this: has staring at them for the last 3 minutes changed anything? Has the price moved because you were watching? Has your stop loss become safer because you're monitoring it? No, the answer is no. You're not doing anything except feeding your addiction to the emotional roller coaster. Here's what I want you to do instead. Delete your trading app from your phone. I'm serious. Or if that's too scary, move it into a folder, put that folder on the last page of your phone, and turn off all notifications. Replace that home screen spot with something productive. A book app, a meditation app, anything that adds value to your life instead of subtracting it. Then schedule 2 specific times per day to check your trades. I recommend morning and evening. Set actual calendar reminders. Outside of those times, the market doesn't exist to you. I promise you, within 2 weeks, you'll see a dramatic improvement in your results. And if you don't, then your problem isn't monitoring, it's your actual strategy, and you need to fix that first. Now let's talk about what happens when you're not watching. This is where the magic happens. When you step away from the screen, something incredible occurs. You give your trades room to breathe. Markets move in waves. They zigzag. They test levels. They fake out. They shake out weak hands. All of this happens over hours and days, not minutes. When you're watching, you see every scary dip as a reason to exit. When you're not watching, those dips become invisible noise. Your trade gets to actually work. Your strategy gets to actually execute. Your edge gets to actually play out. It's like planting a seed. If you dig it up every hour to check if it's growing, it'll never grow. You have to plant it, water it, and leave it alone. I've got a student named Sarah who told me something profound. She said, when I stopped watching my trades, I started living my life again. I was present with my kids. I enjoyed my meals. I slept through the night. And weirdly, my trading account grew faster than it ever had when it was my entire focus. That's not weird at all, Sarah. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about trading. It's not supposed to be exciting. Exciting trading is losing trading. Boring trading is profitable trading. If your heart is racing, if you're on an emotional roller coaster, if you can't think about anything else, you're doing it wrong. The best trades I've ever made felt boring at the time. I set them up, walked away, came back a week later, and they'd hit my target. No drama, no stress, no story to tell, just money in the account. Compare that to the trades I agonized over. The ones I watched every minute. The ones I moved my stop loss on 3 times. The ones I exited early because I couldn't handle the stress. Those trades have great stories. They also have red numbers next to them in my journal. Let me share one more psychological insight that's going to tie this all together. There's a concept in behavioral economics called loss aversion. Humans feel losses about 2.5 times more strongly than equivalent gains. What this means in trading is that watching a trade go against you by $100 causes more emotional pain than watching it go in your favor by $100 causes pleasure. You're literally torturing yourself by watching. And here's the kicker. When you're in pain, your brain makes terrible decisions. It goes into survival mode. It shuts down your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and planning. It activates your amygdala, the part responsible for fear and panic. So by watching your trades closely, you're guaranteeing that when decisions need to be made, they'll be made by the dumbest, most panicked part of your brain. Congratulations, you've just hired your inner caveman as your portfolio manager. The solution is obvious. Don't put yourself in that situation. Make your decisions when you're calm, rational, and not actively in pain or pleasure. Then step away and let those good decisions execute without interference from your inner caveman. I want to address one final objection I hear all the time. But what about news events? What if something major happens and I need to react? Here's the truth. By the time you hear about a news event, the market has already reacted. The algos have already traded it. The professionals have already positioned themselves. You, checking Twitter and trying to decide what to do, are the last person to the party. And statistically, retail traders who try to trade the news lose money 84% of the time because they're reacting emotionally to information that's already priced in. They're doing exactly what the smart money expects them to do. Your stop loss will protect you from catastrophic news. Your take profit will capture gains from positive news. Both of these work automatically without you needing to watch CNBC every second. Let me paint you a picture of what your trading life could look like. You wake up, have coffee, check your trades at your scheduled time, takes 5 minutes. You see one hit its take profit overnight. Nice. Another is still running. Cool. You set a new trade based on your analysis. Done. You go about your day, you work, you exercise, you spend time with people you love, you pursue hobbies, you live your actual life. At your evening check time, you spend another 5 minutes reviewing. Maybe you adjust nothing. Maybe you close something that hit your time stop. Maybe you're happy about another winner. That's it, 10 minutes of trading per day. And your account grows steadily, month after month, because you're letting your edge work without interference from your emotions. Compare that to the alternative, waking up and immediately checking prices, feeling anxiety before your feet hit the floor, checking your phone in the shower, checking during breakfast, checking while driving, checking during work, getting nothing done because you're mentally somewhere else, checking during dinner, lying in bed, unable to sleep, watching candlesticks. Which life do you want? Because I've lived both, and I can tell you the first one is infinitely better, and it makes more money, and it's sustainable for decades instead of burning you out in months. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, implement the set, forget, collect system. Check your trades exactly twice per day at predetermined times. No exceptions. No cheating. Track your results. Track your emotional state. Track your sleep quality. Track your stress levels. I guarantee you'll be shocked at the difference. And if you're brave enough to try it for 30 days, your trading will be completely transformed. You'll look back at your old way of trading and wonder how you ever thought that was sustainable. The truth is, your best trades happen when you're not watching, because that's when you're not in your own way. That's when your strategy works as designed. That's when your edge plays out naturally. That's when you're being a trader instead of a gambler. The market doesn't care if you're watching. Price doesn't move faster because you're staring at it. Your stop loss doesn't work better because you're anxious. Your take profit doesn't get hit sooner because you're hopping really hard. All you're doing by watching is creating opportunities to make emotional mistakes. You're volunteering to be psychologically tortured. You're choosing pain over profit. So stop, just stop. Make a plan, execute the plan, and go live your life. Let your trades work without you. Trust your system more than your emotions. Be the casino, not the gambler. Your future profitable self will thank you. Your stress levels will thank you. Your relationships will thank you. Your sleep will thank you. And most importantly, your bank account will thank you. The best part about trading is that it can give you financial freedom and time freedom, but only if you let it. Only if you stop treating it like a video game that requires constant attention. Only if you mature from being an emotional reactor to being a systematic executor. This is the difference between the 95% of traders who fail and the 5% who succeed. It's not intelligence. It's not capital. It's not even strategy. It's psychology. It's the ability to set something up correctly and then leave it the hell alone. So here's my final message to you. You already know what you need to do. You've known it this whole time. You just needed someone to give you permission to stop watching. Consider this your permission. Set your trades with logic. Forget about them with discipline. Collect your profits with consistency. That's it. That's the whole game. Everything else is just noise designed to separate you from your money. Now close this video, make your trading plan, and go do literally anything else with your time. Your trades will be fine without you. In fact, they'll be better. And a month from now, when your account is up and you've rediscovered what it feels like to not be anxious all day, you'll understand exactly why your best trades happen when you're not watching. Go make it happen.